It's now to our attention here to Media Watch. James Creedon joins us for that. James, good evening to you.
Good evening, Mark.
Facebook is 10 years old. I can imagine there's been much talk about that online and off.
That's right. A lot of reaction to the 10th anniversary of the social network that dominates all others with 1.23 billion users, Mark. That's about 21% of the world's population, about the size of the Catholic Church. Twitter, by comparison, 422 million users with 7% of the world's population. So Facebook, despite some people saying in the last number of months, there were articles in The Guardian and elsewhere after studies done in University College London that it was the end of Facebook. You can see this article here, which I think predicted the end, in particular for younger users who are migrating towards Snapchat, Instagram and other social media, because in fact a lot of their parents were now ending up on Facebook. So in order to maintain a degree of privacy, they were migrating to other social media. But the reality is it's still in very healthy nick, and you have just one of their latest innovations rolled out earlier just in the last week or two, Facebook Paper for iPhone. So they keep updating the format every year, really, if not more frequently. One of the most recent big updates, of course, was Timeline, which allowed you to just scroll back through the last number of years and spy on your friends in a slightly spooky way. Now let's take a look at one video that was released by Facebook today. This is what they are calling, if I can find the name of it, a look back. There you go. And let's hear the music on this one. Can we put up the music? Because it's very emotional, Mark. It's all about sort of looking back through those first moments and the last 10 minutes. This is your life. And of course, the whole idea and the whole strategy from Facebook's point of view is that they're getting as much of your private moments as they can possibly get online. And of course, then they'll later down the road possibly change the privacy settings or change the format, and it becomes a little bit less private. So that's, I suppose, one of the more worrying aspects of it. They certainly seem to think, you can hear with the emotive music there, that this is a special moment. You know, they're giving you a rundown through the highlights of your life, because they're presuming that your life is up there, right? But,
privacy, James, has always been an issue. Privacy settings, people hacking into your personal details, finding out too much about you that they can use in some kind of fraudulent way.
That's right. I'll show you my own Facebook, Mark, because I think it's one of the best ways of...
You're a brave man.
Right. Well, you see, the thing is, it starts off, you add one friend, then you add 10 friends, and then you add 20 friends, and it's your family and it's your close circle of friends.
I bet you've got lots of friends.
Well, I've got a few friends. But then the thing is, you see, you broaden it out. The circles keep broadening. And when the circles were broadening, you kind of thought, whoa, well, the embarrassing stuff is now lost in the past. And then Timeline came in, and you see, you just click back to, for example, 2007. And there were all sorts of silly status updates I put up, which are still there. And you kind of forget about them, but they're still kind of there, that people can access them unless you've restricted the settings. Now, as one journalist for The Guardian pointed out, Hannah Slapper, Facebook, 10 years of trying to be liked. I think she sums it up quite well. This article went up online yesterday. She talks about one of her first Facebook status updates. Don't worry, I hate myself too. But then you see she added colleagues and stuff, and she doesn't necessarily want colleagues to know, even if she was being flippant at the time, that she was making jokes such as that. The headline says it all, really. Time to face up to reality, she said. I'm in love with the projection of my own desired self. Why do I feel the need to compulsively share my life in a crafted manner? She calls it lifestyle-ism. Now, the thing is, I suppose...
I think it's true. I think there's an element of choosing how you portray yourself in the Facebook area, isn't there?
Totally. And I think, another aspect of it that's quite worrying is the more addictive side of spending time online. There have been a lot of articles that compare it, Mark, to gambling. For example, there's one MIT anthropologist who said that it's like a feedback loop. You hit a button, something happens, you hit it again, something similar happens, maybe you win, maybe you don't. Repeat. It's the pleasure of the repeat, the security of the loop. Now that's going a bit maybe abstract, but he's comparing it to slot machines. And sort of you spend a lot of time on it, and it's not necessarily the win, a like for an article you put up or a comment that you get a certain amount of satisfaction from, but the fact that you're kind of feeding into it. So there is an addictive quality to it. And indeed, some articles such as this one on Time Newsfeed have calculated, rather terrifyingly, how much time you spent on the social network. Now, Facebook says it's about 17 minutes a day per user, but bearing in mind that a lot of accounts are pretty much dormant, that means that people who are actively on it every day spend probably a lot more time on it. And as metro.co.uk says, Yeah, they said, look, it's kind of terrifying when you do the calculation. But anyway, it's there to stay for now, at least, unless there's some big
For
security
now, I'll
breach.
update only in work time. Spend my leisure time doing things that are nice. James, thank you very much indeed. James Creedon
Thanks,
with Media Watch. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll take a short break. After that, we're back with another World News Update, plus our eye on Africa. Stay with us.
8:30 Paris time.
Les équipements qui exportent
مع
le pétrole.
اجتماع reste à savoir maintenant comment les juges
Very entertaining film.
Finished ahead of the team.
message audio d'ailleurs ça
Therefore, he is dispatching.
يعرف ما هو nous avions
Très peu de trains.
صفحة من
C'est en fait un temple bouddhiste.
des chefs journée historique
En Allemagne, libyenne à l'armée régulière libyenne.
France 24, everywhere.